What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an Arsenal inventory update to do for you, vinyl this time, and interestingly enough, I would consider this video to be a companion piece to the last Arsenal inventory video that I did, which was a rundown of releases from Diabolic Force Distribution. Let me give you a little bit of a backstory. My good buddy Tim, who runs Diabolic Force Distribution, was selling some records from his personal collection, and there were quite a lot of records to look into and take a look at. And around the time I had gotten my income tax, adult responsibilities aside, I wanted to put some of that towards some well-deserved records. So I got in contact with him, struck a deal, and came across 5 really awesome records to talk to you about here. One of the records that I'm going to show you at the very end of this video is probably one of the most expensive records I've ever purchased, but I would say it was well worth it in my opinion. But anyways, let's get this started. The first record I'm going to show you is of a band that I talked about last year in my top 20 list, and I had never seen any vinyl of this particular artist, and once I saw this, I immediately had to grab it. This is Sewer Goddess with the self-titled EP. Yeah, I believe this came out in 2009, and this was during the era of the project in which it was just strictly Kristen Rose, doing some really rhythmic, evil, death industrial and power electronics. Of course, lately, Sewer Goddess has made the transition from that into a more sludgy, doomy sort of metal outfit, but with the death industrial aesthetic still intact, which of course made for a really awesome album in Painlust, and it ended up being in my personal top 20 of last year. But the older stuff prior to Painlust is really, really sensational, especially for an EP like this. Once again, mentioning how evil and rhythmic sounding her death industrial music is, it's just really sensational to listen to. You got the front cover here, bare bones, just Sewer Goddess logo, black and white. I like what it says on the back here, and I'll read it to you. I have made your cunt a breeding ground for my revulsion, broken apart from your false sense of self and finding security only in my own autonomy. My inner erection has now come full circle. Of course, you can see the thing on there, the little label logo here. Comes in a fold-out thing like that. You gotta have the sleeve handy to protect it, I guess. Comes with one sheet here. Of course, you have Kristen Rose. Side 1, side 2, both repeat on the same record. Baseborn Records put this out. I believe this is limited to 149 copies, I want to say. Of course, you have Sewer Goddess right there. All that information. And the record itself comes on a very heavyweight, clear vinyl. Very nice clear vinyl, blank on both sides. Same program repeats on both sides, and I like the etching that's on this. There's an etching on both sides of the record. It says, this side, another one like the other one. This side, another one like the other one. It's on both sides of the record. Very creative etching, very sly and witty stuff. But yeah, the death industrial stuff of Sewer Goddess is really amazing to listen to, and I would really recommend getting into her death industrial stuff. And if you haven't heard Painlust yet, you need to get on to hearing Painlust. It is still an awesome record to listen to this very day. Moving from death industrial to death metal, we have probably one of the most underrated death metal bands to come out of Sweden, in my opinion. This is Sorcery with the Unholy Creations demo compilation. Yeah, it's a triple LP, single sleeve, little bit of a corner bend on the bottom right, but it didn't affect the music or the delivery of anything like that. So I got it for a really, really good price. But anyway, this is a compilation of a majority of their late 80s to early 90s demo material, some live stuff. Of course, you have the front cover here. I believe that this was put out on CD through Hell's Headbangers. There's also a version that came with tapes and demos and whatever. Of course, you have the back here with the classic band photo and band logo. Track information. I believe To the Death put this out. There, of course, you have To the Death logo. Yeah, really awesome demo releases from this band. The Arrival, Ancient Creation, Unholy Crusade, Immaculated Life. Got some cool rehearsal stuff on here. It comes with this cool little side rectangular booklet here. You have the track listings, you have lyrics, liner notes, archival photos. Very awesome information about this band. Of course, they put out an album in 2011, 2012, I want to say, called Arrival at 6. Really excellent return to form for this band after being almost gone for like almost 20 plus years or so. But yeah, it's a really, really awesome Swedish death metal band, old school to the T. Triple LP, all on black vinyl. Nothing really too special to show here. You have these little stamps in the middle here. A side, B side. And I like this one, the third LP. You have the little master tape on here. Shows you the type of old school mentality a band like Sorcery has. But it's a really cool compilation if you want to get into, if you want to know the inner workings of classic Swedish death metal. Yeah, like I said, I think the CD version is out through Hell's Headbangers if you want to try and find the LPs of this. It's worth looking into. Really awesome Swedish death metal. Moving on to some black metal, we're getting into the Cult Ejaculate side of things. And anytime you want to mention Cult Ejaculate, you can't go wrong without mentioning something about Paul Ledney. And I got two things here that have to do with Paul Ledney. First of all, we have Havohei with the album Kembetanen Pre-Master. Yeah. This is the follow-up album to probably one of the cornerstones of US black metal. Of course, he was involved in Profanatica, but also he had this Havohei side project, the album Dethrone the Son of God, absolute classic and cornerstone for US black metal. But soon after that release, things began to get a little bit more weird and experimental, like the Tongue Cat Blood Wand EP, the Hornbook Satan EP, where things began to become a lot weirder, more ambient, just straight out fucked up sounding stuff, but still maintaining the mentality that you would know best of a release from Paul Ledney. Just got weird. And Kembetanen Pre-Master is quite a weird release in its own right. It's very strange stuff. The pained vocals, the overloud bass and guitar riffs, it's just really nuts stuff. But it's an awesome record in its own right, I would say. I mean, songs like Pious Breath, Bloud of the Word, Hateful Unto God, very unique sorts of spellings for certain Havohei songs, but it's really cool here. Yeah, you have the cover here. You have the back with the track listing, these little angels. Of course, you have Paul Ledney right there looking really cult with the upside down cross. This is a limited edition. Mine is number 30 out of 111. And this is a picture disc version. I have Dethrone the Son of God on picture disc, which is also limited, but this is a picture disc as well, so I'm going to take it out and show you right quick. Yeah, you have the actual cover for Kembetanen Pre-Master that everybody's familiar with. And then on the other side here, you have Paul Ledney, looking how Paul Ledney is supposed to look. I don't know what he's doing or how he's doing things. There's also this really weird sort of squiggly writing on here on the picture disc. I don't know what it means or what it even stands for, but yeah. Paul Ledney doing what Paul Ledney knows how to do best. But anyway, the picture disc sounds great. It came out great. I like how Hell's Headbangers handles their business when it comes to picture discs. Everything's sounding really good and playing really good. But yeah, weird, wild stuff is what Kembetanen Pre-Master is, and it's solid in its own right. From Havohei, we have the project that everybody knows Paul Ledney best for. And this is a keeper. This is Profanatica with the Enemy of Virtue compilation. This came out in 2006 on Hell's Headbangers. You can see a little bit on the spine here. Profanatica, the Enemy of Virtue. But yeah, this is a compilation release of this band's demo works, EPs, rehearsals, live stuff, even the pre-Profanatica stuff with Toten. Just a seriously stacked compilation full of stuff that featured a lot of this band's great and early works. I mean, songs like Weeping in Heaven, Spilling Holy Blood, Crucifixion Wounds, Broken Jew, Passion of a Liar, the Totem stuff, Pre-Profanatica. Really stacked sort of release here. They did a fine and wonderful job with how everything sounds here and how everything is displayed. It's really awesome here. You have the cover here with the upside down Jesus, which is part of the course for Profanatica releases. You got little blood splatters and upside down crosses. You got the back on here. You have the band members looking how Profanatica are supposed to look. Band logo, name of the release. And this is also a Die Hard edition. Mine is number 91 out of 200. And if you remember the video that Canyon Bickle did about the version that he got of the Enemy of Virtue, I think that his was a later copy. I think this is the 2006 version in question because there's a lot of unique differences about it. The gatefold is quite different looking, I would say. Maybe similar, but I could be wrong here. Things pop out a little bit more. You have the little liner notes here of who Profanatica are and what they're all about and why they mean something to the world. Prepare as sodomy shall be brought upon the nun's rotting asshole once again. I just love that shit. It's really, really crazy. But yeah. Comes with this big poster here. This is the original poster, I want to say. Profanatica's Black Cult Ejaculate. Of course, you have the Jesus figure here, the classic Profanatica angel with the horn and the erect cock. Christ's cock ejaculates! You have this 7-inch booklet of a 1992 interview done with Paul Ledney. Of course, you have the band members dressed up like nuns. You have the more band photos here. Really cool, insightful interview. Ah, dick! But there's one question on here that I really love out of this interview, and I'll read it to you. Any particular way you want to die? And Paul Ledney says, I would like to die while blowing a load in a nun's ass. By dying from a heart attack from too much excitement. That is the ultimate way. Classic Paul Ledney right here. Yeah. And continuing on with the differences between these vinyl versions, I believe Canyon's was a silver with red merge and gold merge. This one's completely different. This is the first record here. It's a black with gold right in the middle. Gold dipped right in the center, which looks really weird, but it's also very nice. It dips a you can see a little bit of gold popping on the side too here. But I think it's really nice. It's a very nice vinyl color. And then you got the record number 2 here, which is a black with a silver merge. You have the silver merging on all sides of the record, which makes it look really nice. Of course, you have more on the D side. Of course, you got the center labels here looking really nice. I believe the other version of this has printed inner sleeves. Mine just comes with regular standard sleeves, but I'm pretty sure this is the very first edition of this. But any which way, this is a compilation worth owning if you want to get to know more about the early stuff of Profanatica. Very incredible, raw US black metal done by the masters of their craft. They are a very big deal, I would say, in US black metal, and this is a compilation worth owning. Whether you get this version, or the other version, or the 2 CD version, just get the Enemy of Virtue if you're into Profanatica. It is worth it, 100,000%. Paul Ledney, man, you're not cult if you haven't seen Paul Ledney's cock. I'll tell you that much. And the last record I'm going to show you is pretty much a holy grail item for me. I never thought I would own a record by this band, because there are certain records from this band that I've been wanting, but this record in particular I never thought I would see myself getting. This is quite a rarity because this came to me unopened, never played, but of course you buy records to listen to them, not to display them. But this had to be put to good use here, and this is probably one of the priciest records I've ever purchased. Won't get into too much detail, but I'd say it was well worth the purchasing. This is Watain with Sworn to the Dark. What makes this so rare is the fact that this is the very first press vinyl that came out through Norma Evangelium Diaboli. or for those of you who happen to have a hard time saying the name of the label, No Dia. I would recommend you say No Dia in case you feel like you're gonna say it wrong. No Dia is much shorter. But anyway, pronunciations and shortenings of label names aside, this is a really awesome Watain record. This was the follow-up to Causus Luciferi, which is my personal favorite Watain record. But then, of course, after this album came the even more amazing Lawless Darkness, and their change into their style with the Wild Hunt. But I enjoy Watain overall. They get a lot of shit from people. I pretty much explained my feelings about this band in Curtis from the Pitch Control, that collaborative video that I did with him. I explained my feelings about Watain, and I stand by what I said about them. I respect this band for not giving a fuck about what anyone else thinks, and just doing things their way, regardless of whether people like it or not. It just makes me respect them that much more. But yeah, this is a really awesome record. I mean, songs like Legions of the Black Light, Storm of the Antichrist, the title track, The Serpent's Chalice, just some incredible, incredible songs to be heard on here. Of course, you have the synonymous front cover of the release. You have the back with the frame on here, with the band members. Of course, Norma Evangelium Diaboli. I'm going to open the gatefold right quick. Very, very nice gatefold here with all of the band members. Credits and information. Very solid stuff. Beautiful gatefold. Comes with a booklet, rectangular booklet here. You have the Watain banner, synonymous banner. You got lyrics, band photos. There's E of Watain, other band members. Seriously awesome stuff. And it came with this huge, huge poster. Should have been a flag, to be honest, but it's a very nice poster that they created here. See if I can lean back so you can see this. Yeah, beautiful Watain poster here. Very nicely done. I'm not going to frame it, obviously. I'll keep it in the record for, you know, just to make sure it maintains some nice quality statuses here. And it comes on it's a double LP, 180 gram black vinyl. You have the label here. On this side you have the Watain Trident that you would best know the band for. And you have the other record. Tracks on here, and the Wolf that you best know from Watain and whatever. But yeah, Sworn to the Dark is an incredible Watain album. So many choice cuts to be found on here. If you ever want to get into this band, this would be one of their more accessible albums to get into. But then after this one, find out what Causus Luciferi is about, and then dive deep into the masterpiece that is Lawless Darkness. I really enjoy the shit out of Watain, and I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, I love Sworn to the Dark. But yeah, that's it. I would leave you links. I was going to leave links in the video, but then again, I wanted you guys to be in on the surprise of what records I was going to show you in this video. So if you happen to own any of these releases or have any feelings or opinions about these bands, do you enjoy any of these bands? What do you think? Talk to me. Let's have a good discussion about it. So I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Armijo out.